Hello, and welcome back to Wario Land 3. On the last episode, we got the grabby gloves, which you're gonna have to hold on with me for a second. Let's just take our gloves and grabby. It's very, very impressive. So we can pick up and grab small enemies and objects that are approximately barrel size. Perhaps even the barrel we're holding. Who knows? It's a mystery to everybody. But yeah, we can just pick up things, we can throw them, we can hold the throw to make a charge shot to throw them like with horizontal power to break through little shafts like that, to open up new areas we couldn't previously go to and then completely ignore them. Because were we to go through there, we would find the green chest with no green key, and that's no good. But if we come over here, we'll see throwable blocks behind a otherwise not throwable block, but you'll throw it and then discover you threw the enemy too high and not be able to get through. And there was a spider coming out of that other spider. The miracle of birth is incredible. Yeah, so unfortunately I threw the spearhead a little too far, unfortunately not letting us continue onwards. So this area here is a disguise block that is actually a throwable block, and I can be a little... It's known that I can be a little harsh on things like this in games, but I really like this. I feel the signposting's very good, especially for relatively early in the game. Like, we're getting close to the halfway point, but not there. And while we have had to deal with disguise blocks before, you know, we haven't seen them too terribly often, so it's nice of oh hey, this block that's actually disguised throwable block, there's real throwable blocks that you can see right behind them that kind of help you get those brain cogs clicking and a-ticking. Get your brain a-thinking. And you know what you're thinking about? You're thinking about golf, baby, because everybody loves a good game of golf, and that's why we're going to edit golf out of this episode and all future episodes, because we all love golf so much we can no longer bear to see it. It's unfortunate. Yes, but there'll be no more golf, and there will in fact now be editing in the series. That's right, we're gonna do an edit, baby. I of course got the easy course that you can hole-in-one, and then hole-in-one'd it, which, you know, is the most useful edit that we've ever seen, but we're all done with golf. There may come a time when I force you guys to watch more golf, whether you guys want to or not, but today is not that day. There are probably courses that we haven't seen in golf, but who cares? We'll probably see them later, I guess, whenever we do a not edited golf segment. It'll make sense later. But what doesn't make sense later is why the Pokemon Pikachu Tamagotchi thing went out of style! Where can I get one of these babies? And this is actually, in fact, supposed to be a Pokemon Pikachu, the weird Pokemon Tamagotchi thing they had. I never really played it, because, you know, I spent all my money on Game Boy Color games, it would seem. And just like that, we're at the Tidal Coast. This is the episode of editing, baby. It's 9 episodes in. It's time to start editing stuff out. We've seen the world map. We don't need to traverse it every single time. It's time to start getting this series known for super long episodes. We need to start condensing them down. I can't have you guys just wasting your lives away watching me travel the same map screen every single time. Whenever we travel to new places, or I forget, I guess, we will be seeing the map screen, so it's not gone forever. But hey, we're able to explore a new part of the Tidal... I almost said the Tidal Scope instead of the Tidal Coast for some reason. But thanks to our little green Robota spear friend, who I seriously just need to look up their names. I'm 100% sure it's Robota, but it just doesn't feel right for some reason. Thanks to his contribution to our goals, we were able to throw them at throwable blocks and find a wonderful bubble watery passage. There's not really much to do that's different from the bubble water passage that we saw previously. I don't know why I'm going for the coin. I need to come down here and hit a bubble before we'll be able to traverse the upwards, or the current pointing down. I'm not sure if we saw this previously. I know we did in Wario Land 2, but that was a different game and a different time, a different lifetime even. I've died since then. Yeah, to get a current pushing in the opposite direction, you can just ride a bubble through. Or perhaps we'll find a different way to do that in the future. But now is not the future, as it were. It is now, and it will always be now. It's kind of strange, and I want to avoid that bubble. It's strange I was able to go far to the right to avoid the stupid bubble, but going left wouldn't have worked. Now we just need to play the waiting game, and all the bubbles have... okay, there's a bubble trailing behind us. All the bubbles kind of stopped spawning, so the cracks could, I guess, just laugh at us. And I guess I screwed that up pretty bad, huh? But yes, not to say that this is, like, not any more difficult than the previous one. It definitely is, but there's not much more new here. You're just going downwards trying to avoid bubbles. It's the same thing we saw in the Grasslands. It's the same thing we saw in Wario Land 2 during these bubble segments. It's nothing new. It's nothing all that hard. You just avoid it and be patient. Take note of like little things like that little pillar that we saw there, because if we got by a bubble, we could directionally influence ourselves towards it and use it as a checkpoint and not have to go all the way back, which is nice. And bouncing off that wall almost knocked me into the bubble, which would have sucked, because then I probably would have missed the thing, even though I just said, hey, you can use this as a checkpoint, just because I'm a big stupid idiot, and I have video proof of that. See this video you're currently watching. What I do like, though, is this little like throwing segment where we have just one enemy that we have to take through and just be very careful with. I know this isn't anything new. Like, we definitely saw this kind of puzzle encounter challenge. We saw it in Wario Land 2. It's nothing new, but I always enjoy these segments where you just gotta be nice to your friends if you wanna throw them through things and then destroy them when you open a chest anyways, because you really needed the Giant's Foot. And also, I didn't mention it, but Pokemon Pikachu is not required. It does nothing for you. Aside from giving you a cool Tamagotchi friend. But this Giant's Foot, on the other hand, oh boy, is this a thing. It's a big stone foot you throw in the air, and when it hits the ground, it makes an earthquake, which makes you wonder if it's imbued with magic, or if it was just that heavy, which probably not the case since Wario's been having difficulty lifting burrs, let alone things that would create an earthquake on impact. But doing so causes earthquakes to happen around the world and destroy things and drain swamps and etc, etc. So now we can go do new things in new places. And here we are on the map screen, even though I was just saying I'm going to edit this out. Like I said, when I remember, I suppose. But one thing I just wanted to show, the Volcanoes base having changed, because this is going to be our last visit to the Volcanoes base, and I want to show what's changed about the Volcanoes base before I continue onwards. I don't actually think we came over here previously, but this would have been a solid wall we would have been unable to penetrate. There would have been no incline there. I was trying to remember what the hell that thing was, an incline, a slope, etc, etc. But this is going to be our last visit to the Volcanoes base, which means it's time to finally collect some musical coins. And I have a little confession about the musical coins. I've never collected them all in any of my playthroughs of this. I've, of course, gone out of my way and picked some of them up, but since they have kind of like a 8 red coin style, like you need all of them for it to matter, I've never just done a full run-through of a level where I bother to get all the coins, since, like, to get the blue chest for this level, we wouldn't have to go through most of the level. So I just don't bother to do it. I'll pick them all up, or well, I guess I should say I probably pick them all up over the course of, like, all my playthroughs of a level. But it's just, I never go back and get them all in one go, which is all that matters. So we're going to be seeing some new things together. I know it happens, I should say. I've just never bothered, which is kind of weird. I've played this game so many times, but just have never ever bothered. And we've actually pretty much seen all of these coins before. Like, I'm pretty sure we probably got this coin last time we were here. Just because I wanted to show off Vampire Wario a little bit more, because I think it's probably the best transformation in the series, and it doesn't get enough love. Like, it's so strange that we've, like, only seen it, like, the one time thus far. We'll be seeing it again very, very soon. And I wonder if this is possible. Okay, awesome, cool. I wasn't sure if we'd be able to make it down here. I thought I might have to fall and give this another shot, and then, we'd have to come back up here, and that'd be a pain, but luckily, that all worked out very, very well, and I suppose we will take this red key whether we want it or not, since it's in our way, and our only way to avoid it would be to jump down. And that wouldn't actually help us much, because we do need the cart to come over here and pick up this coin, I believe, and I don't want to be set on fire, because that would be bad. Actually, I almost paused the game to, like, try and check a map, but there isn't a map of, like, the area. I don't know why I thought I could do that for a second. But we might have been able to get that coin without taking the cart had we just, like, made, like, a good jump from the beginning. I'm not 100% sure if that's something we would have been able to do, but I guess we didn't have to do it, so hey, hooray for us. We did it. We're the best. And that coin that I just got is actually a coin that I struggle with a lot. Like, that's a coin that I try to, it's not worth the time to go out of our way to get it. That's a coin that I tend to, the musical coin we just got, I should say, is one I tend to struggle with. Like, when I play this game, I'll just keep trying this jump over and over again to try and get that coin, because it's like, oh, I want the collectibles, duh, obviously, even though, like, I know it doesn't matter unless you collect all of them in one go. But my brain's just like, I need that music coin, so I've been suppressing my desire for collectibles, useless collectibles, as we've been going through. And you know what, the other coin wasn't worth our time, but I'll pick that one up. But not the one coin. You're not worth the, like, extra second it would have taken. So here's Dollboy. Dollboy's the first boss of the video. Okay, no, we're not going to go through the explanation again. Something interesting is that you can rematch bosses if you wanted to, which is nice. It's always a shame when you can't, like, redo things in games. Like, I mean, some games it makes sense, like, oh, I can't go back and redo this. But in games where you can go back and, like, replay levels and stuff, it's always so strange when it's like you can replay a level but not fight a boss or something like that. So it's nice that the bosses are here, especially since, you know, had we not had access to Dollboy, we wouldn't have been able to get to that upper area and get the coin, which would have been a shame. And I think we're almost... Oh, and for some reason I got twitchy finger and then tried to jump again, even though we did not need to jump there. This should be our 7th coin, right? Cool. Which means we have all the coins that were in previous parts of the area that we've been to. So now we can go to a new part of the area and find our last blue coin. Our last music coin that's on the blue route, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get it, and it's gonna be good, and then we'll both be able to enjoy whatever the heck happens whenever you get all of the coins on a level. Like, I know what happens, but I've never actually seen it, so I'm very, very excited to see it in action. So let's continue on through here, and you guys are gonna have to make me a promise that you never tell anyone that I've never got all of the coins or all the musical coins in Wario Land 3. That's my shame. It's my shameful secret that I have bared to you guys. You all know now. Please don't share this video with anyone. Please don't tell anyone you watched this video. Don't let anyone know about my secret shame. Please don't tell anyone at all. Don't even think it to yourself. I don't want you knowing any more than you have to know. So please forget that I ever told you that. It would be very convenient for all of us. And what's not convenient for all of us is becoming Vampire Wario. Because this is kind of an interesting thing. And I love when Wario Land does this. We need Vampire Wario to continue onwards in this area. But it's also an obstacle. And it's just always so cool whenever they have something like go from obstacle to like, oh, this is now beneficial to me. Like, in a split second, like, the only reason we didn't want to be Vampire Wario there was because there were blocks in the way, and Vampire Wario, in neither of his forms, has a way of breaking blocks. So we had to go and break those blocks before we could fly through here without any difficulty, which is kind of nice. And I just love whenever, like, oh, here's this thing that is an obstacle, and now it's no longer an obstacle, it's just in the span of, like, a few seconds. It's really, really neat, and I enjoy it. What I also enjoy is we now have all 8 coins, and I'm so excited to see, like, whatever, like, little animation plays out. I have an idea of what happens, but I've never seen the animation, so I'm excited, especially this game that I've played as many times as I have. This is going to end up being my first time I've 100%ed this game, too, which is weird. I mean, I guess you could argue whether or not I'm going to 100% it, because there is some BS that I am not going to bother with, which I suppose we'll be talking about much, much later, like last episode. But what we do have to talk about is, that's our first blue chest, and our first area completely cleared out, and with that we get the claw conch. It's, I guess, a hollowed out claw that you can blow into and make a noise? Who knows? But hey, that's our first area done. We'll never ever visit the volcano's base ever again, and there we go. I guess that's all that happens. You just color in a little thing of this strange little mural down here. I don't know what it looks like. Wonder what it reminds me of. It's so hard to tell. On top of editing out map transitions, we edited out most of the steep canyon. For a second, I forgot the name of this level, even though we just, like, unlocked it last episode. Whoops. My bad. My bad brain. You know how it goes. And the Giant's Foot in this level ripped open a hole in the side of the canyon, which allows us to come into this cave filled with Numos. And this is kind of an interesting little area, I believe, if I remember it correctly. Just a bunch of Numos. We have to kind of take advantage of their, like, how they work and stuff to do things. Like, we're gonna have to mess around with kind of like baiting them and stuff into different areas, because as they were, like, you know, we have to get stung in the appropriate area, because, like, had we gotten stung too early, you know, we would have floated up to that little area beyond where we could have reached. And I am not gonna go for this coin because I just want to continue onwards. I don't want to accidentally bump the Numo and kill it, or knock it into, like, kind of like a little different area. Like, this Numo here could have been annoying, like, if he had decided to stay, like, in that upper left area and not come down with me, because then it would have been hard to, like, kind of catch his attention from where we were. So that went pretty smoothly. There's, like, water down there that will push you out of the area, that'll knock you out into a little area just beneath the door, like, in the water. It's kind of a strange thing, but hey, it all works out, I suppose. But what I don't suppose, and I in fact know, so I do suppose I know, is we get the horn conch, a hollowed out horn that you can blow into, I suppose. With the stagnant swamp a little less stagnant? There's less stagnant water, so it's less stagnant now? It's still a stagnant swamp. The water drain revealing these 2 pipes and this door to a new area that we can now explore, and a new enemy to be horrified at. It's not really a horrifying enemy, but it's a weird one. It's this weird robot mouse who desperately wants to grab us, but we don't want to be grabbed by the robot mouse. You can ground pound it to stun it, but you cannot kill this thing. It is completely invincible to us, and unfortunately that did not work out the way I wanted it to. The mouse bested us. So yes, the mouse is basically just a floor master. It wants to grab us and throw us out of the area. I believe there's only like 2 of these guys in the game, so it's kind of interesting to see them. And this area is a bit of a weird one. To me, it feels like you want to play it like oh, I'm going to get away from the damn thing and it's not going to get me. But for me, it tends to end up being more in the line of, oh, I'm just going to make a little bit of progress at a time, and just keep getting thrown out of the area. And, oh man, I wanted to ground pound him, but I missed the shot. Wario's not known for his trigger discipline. He just completely missed the shot. Let's take him a little bit further away, because I believe that's a long shaft of breakable blocks. And this can be kind of rough to get through, since Wario has a bit of recoil on hitting the blocks, which will very often just bounce you straight into the mouse, and then you'll be screwed. And that Spike Robota? Spear Robota? Who even knows? Who knows these enemy names? I mean, I suppose I could know, but I don't. He's trying to hit me down there, and then I would have fallen and gotten got by the robot mouse, and that would have been sad, because we hadn't yet gotten the red key, and I'll accept that. That's fine. You earned that. You didn't earn that one. That was uncalled for. Uncalled for, and now you're dead. That's what you get for your uncalled for assault on Wario. The world's coolest man? Human being? Who really knows? Wario's great. I love the Wario. He's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. Love him. Just like I love my friend the turtle, who's going to take us to the next boss fight. This next boss fight being a very angry face in the water. Look how upset he is. He does not like it. He doesn't like it because he can't spawn because I'm hanging above him. And we gotta get out of his way so he can jump into the battlefield. And now we can see whatever the hell this thing is. I have no idea what animal this is supposed to be. I've always assumed it's a lizard of some sort, but I have no idea. There's this Wario Land fan site that I'm 100% sure I plugged before, Wario Land, and they call it a deranged beaver. And, like, I don't know what this is, but I'm 100% sure it is not that. Like, I don't know, it screams lizard to me, but whatever. We've talked enough about the entomology of this animal. What we need to talk about is you kill it by ground pounding it on any area that's not its flashing spiky bit, which is kind of interesting. Generally, the flashy bit's the one you want to hit, but in this case, the flashy bit is bad, the rest is good. Who would have thought that video games were getting so advanced nowadays? Once you defeat him, your friend the turtle shows back up to take you back over to the red chest, and he'll just swim forever in his little, like, forever pool he's got down there. It's a nice exercise, and, you know, when you live to be as old as those turtles, you need to stay in good shape, I suppose. I just shrugged. I'm not sure if that was picked up by the mic. In fact, I doubt that was picked up by the mic, especially after I noise remove everything, but hey. With that, we get whatever the hell this is, and whatever the hell this is apparently supposed to be a scale conch, a conch made out of scales. Like, the other ones, it's like, okay, it's a horn, you can hollow it out, and it's a horn. It's a horn, it's a horn. It makes sense. The claw, it's horn-shaped. I get it. These are a bunch of scales, like, I guess you could put them together and make, like, a flute-like thing or whatever. It doesn't 100% make sense. But you put them together, and I guess they fuse? Like, I don't understand. Why did they bother to call them conches if they're just going to fuse to do, like, a magic beam thing, which makes the volcano explode? And it was also nice that the little animation for it showed the pool of rain shaking. And this volcano erupting is the word that people would typically use. It's kind of interesting because it opens up, I believe, 2 levels for us, right? Okay, yeah, it does open up both of them. So we get both the West Crater and the Colossal Hole. So we get 2 levels for the price of 3 items. That's not a bad trade-off, I don't think. But that'll do for today. We've gotten a lot of things done, and this might have been a longer episode than they generally are. I don't know why I scheduled so many levels to be done in this one. Well, okay, the reason I scheduled so many is because I wanted to get all the conches in one video, and then I came up with this complicated naming scheme that required certain levels to be in certain places. But that's neither here nor there. The episode's done. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you guys. And on the next episode, we're going to go check out the West Crater and the Colossal Hole, which... Colossal Hole, E4. The Elite 4 Colossal Hole. The episode's over, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. I hope you enjoyed this episode.